Earnestly podcast. It's EJ versus Degenerate, week number 4 with Zachary, of course, as we do this every single week, Wednesday/Thursday. Zachary, long day for me. We're gonna add. Normally on the show, we basically focus on our picks of the week in the NFL, and we will get there in a second. Plus, we have something special planned on the back end of the podcast, which is not football related, but we gotta talk about this. Up the shoot, the Dame Lillard uh situation is complete. He has been traded to a team starting with the letter M, but it's not Miami. It's Milwaukee Bucks. I present you to break down this trade first for everybody on the podcast who are just now finding us out. The Bucks get Damian Lillard. The Blazers, they get Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Tamani Kamara, a 2029 pick from the Bucks, and another pick swap from the Bucks. The Phoenix Suns, by the way, this is the 3-team trade. The Phoenix Suns, however, also they get Joseph Nurkic, Nasir Little, Keon Johnson, and Grayson Allen. So that is your full trade of this Damian Lillard saga. Obviously, everybody's laughing at me. The Heat didn't get what they wanted, and da-da-da. You saw this trade, Zach, earlier today. What were your thoughts?
I mean, my initial thought was Milwaukee's got to be now the new favorite in Vegas. And you know what happened? They are. Milwaukee is the number 1 seed to win the next ring. So kudos to Milwaukee. I from what I've seen so far, until things happen and guys start to get hurt like Lillard will, up front, all 3 teams I think made out. I don't think any of the 3 teams could say they got screwed.
I would say, in my opinion, 2 to 3 teams made out here. I think obviously Milwaukee, you get Dame Lillard, you get better. I think Phoenix is the underrated team here in this situation because Ayton, while I agree Ayton's probably the better talent than Nurkic, Ayton's attitude, Ayton's it's a bigger ceiling. We agree to that, but Ayton don't want to be there anymore. And Nurkic is gonna find a new lease on life in Phoenix. Okay, and I think I think at the very least that's a wash. Because there's no questions that Ayton's gonna be reach the potential he should be reaching.
See, I believe it's a positive for both because, like you said, Ayton doesn't want to be there, but he is an all-star caliber player.
If he wants to be,
Yeah,
of course,
and now he gets that chance because he is he is the man on that team. You can say what you want to say, but Ayton will get to be the man. He's not gonna have to listen, play to everyone else, and be the 4 seed. So it works to him. And then Nurkic, he knows how to play up against Jokic. So you have a guy who has probably played more often against him, has more experience guarding him. And so when you meet up with him in the playoffs, you're going to be in a better position. Not to mention, it cuts your luxury tax again.
Yeah. Also, Drew Holiday they're looking to move him again. Drew Holiday somewhere else. So Drew Holiday will not be on I'm assuming will not be in Portland by the start of the season because it's already out there. They're going to try to trade him something else also too. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Let's bring on the Heat part real quick. The Miami Heat part. The assumption was that Miami was the only. Obviously, that's what they wanted to go. The talk was in the last couple of weeks that the Heat and Blazers were not engaging in any talks, and they hadn't engaged in talks in months actually. And in fact, no phone calls were returned and none of that stuff. Just found out today, like after this trade went down, that it was only in the last week that after Miami was not engaging with Portland because there was no Portland didn't want any Miami pieces on that only in the last week did Brooklyn also and Brooklyn and Milwaukee were contacted as well as Toronto were only involved last minute because Miami was not engaging. I think the point was Miami was trying to call their bluff because Dame Lillard wanted to go to Miami, and once there was no engagement there, is what it is. My opinion, I still think from the Portland end, if the offers we heard during the summer were actually accurate, the heroes and draft picks and pieces, I still believe those are actually a better offer for Portland. I think those are better for Portland than what they got in this deal. Because essentially, Drew Holiday's not going to be there. Drew Holiday's not going to be there. So the only piece you got is DeAndre Ayton. Okay, fine.
Exactly. But here, let's slow this down. Holiday is an all-star point guard, right?
Yes.
He was this past season.
Right.
And yet they're looking to trade him because they already have 3 very young guards that they have drafted back to back to back. What would be the point of trading for a hero as the centerpiece of that trade?
Well, the problem is Holiday's also an older piece too. Also, forget that. I don't know what kind of return you get on Holiday. What do you think Holiday will get in the market right now?
It doesn't matter. Age at that point. Portland drafted 3 guys in consecutive years that are 6'1" or 6'2" or 6 foot tall. Why would they trade for a hero as a centerpiece? That was why they were asking for Bam. There was no piece that y'all were throwing in there that would have made Phoenix or Portland competitive.
Well, Bam is the reason they want to go to Miami in the first place. So it's pointless. If you're going to trade Bam away from Dame, no point in doing the trade. Just keep the team you have.
I don't know if he was really the reason, or he didn't want to lose Bam because he was going there, and it would be
because if you trade Zach, if you trade Bam and say get Damian, and let's say after the trade happens, Bam goes Portland or whatever, and Dame goes Miami. Miami's no better. In fact, I can argue they probably got worse.
Exactly. So you weren't willing to give up a piece for that team to get better at any point. Why would they make the trade to send Lillard to Miami then? If you're not going to allow them to get better through the trade also, it was highway robbery what Miami was trying to give them.
So you think Riley fucked up?
Absolutely. He wanted to pretend that if they put in Hero in the trade, who's a great player, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He's probably a top 40 player in the league right now.
Yeah.
But you include him, that he is meaningless to Portland. You're literally saying, hey, Portland, go fuck one of your last 3 years picks that you made. Here's Hero. And they weren't going to do that.
Makes sense. I can see logic there. So let's discuss real quick. Portland's rebuilding forever. They're not even a topic anymore. That's over now. They're irrelevant. You watch Scoot Henderson. That's about it. Scoot Henderson. That's it. But other than that, on League Pass, other than that, that's all I care about.
I haven't even seen enough of him to think Scoot Henderson's worth watching.
Right. Well, we'll watch him this year, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's talk Milwaukee, because Milwaukee was probably, even with the pieces they had before this trade, if not the favorite in the East, certainly 1A, 1B of Boston. I wasn't convinced that Boston was the head odds-on favorite. To me, I had those two teams neck and neck, no matter what.
Well, I thought the offseason moves prior to this trade put Boston as the number 1 seed.
You think so? Okay.
But with this trade, what that does to open up the floor and take pressure off of Giannis, and the fact Middleton cannot stay healthy ever, and now you have 2 scorers that can just dominate from anywhere, I think it is huge for Milwaukee. Second, you had been hearing Giannis talk about he doesn't know if he wants to stay in Milwaukee. He needs to see a commitment.
That's the key thing there. And we probably shouldn't be surprised now, given what he said 2 weeks ago about one. And by the way, kudos to Giannis for being transparent about that. I like players who are honest about that. Listen, I want to win. So if listen, I'll stay in Milwaukee, but you got to keep building around me. You got to keep adding to this team. Yep. And I think Milwaukee took that. I don't even call it a threat. Let's be honest. And that's what you got. So favorites in the East, right? Favorites in the East, right? Right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Now
in the league now, are the favorites to win the whole thing, or you still putting Denver? Are you still putting Phoenix? Because I think Phoenix came out well in this trade also too.
I actually think this put Phoenix as the number 1 seed.
Ooh.
I can understand Vegas making Milwaukee the favorite because the East is a little weaker
The
than
track is
the
easier.
West, in
Right.
my opinion.
Correct. No, it is. You're right.
When you look at the top-heavy teams, there are only 2 in the East, Boston and Milwaukee. Miami had to catch breaks, and Philly, guess what? They are the breaks for everybody because you know they're going to be hurt and there's going to be issues.
And I thought about that too when the trade went down. I was like, if I'm Philadelphia, if I'm Joel Embiid, I'm like, wow. So not only we weren't even like in the conversation of being a top 2 team or 3 team, if that matter, in the East before the trade. Certainly now there's distance between themselves and that. You still got to get rid of James Harden. That's still a problem on your roster. Okay, you don't know what you don't know what you're getting back with that. I'm Joel Embiid. I'm thinking, you sure you want to be here long term? Because it would not shock me if Joel Embiid in the next 2 years says, you know what, trade me. Because other than that, with his injury history, if you want to get value from now at this point and you want to win as a top guy, one of the top core guys, I think next year or 2 is probably the time to do it. Philly, I don't see Philly getting any better, honestly, at this point.
I'm gonna hold my judgment just because, like, just saw with this trade with Milwaukee and Portland, and anything could happen. Anybody's willing to take a gamble on a player. So maybe you find a third team to send Harden to while still getting back great pieces from another team.
Yeah.
So.
And again, we'll have a season preview of the NBA next week. We'll do a much more elaborate deep dive into that. I agree with you on Phoenix though. I don't know if I put them number 1 necessarily, but if you were saying Denver's number 1 before this happened, at the very least, this could be close to a wash between the 2 teams.
Well, I think the reason why I do say it is because it changes the whole atmosphere in the locker room.
Mm-hmm. Getting out of there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm sorry, Lakers. I know you had a great offseason. This hurts you guys because you get healthy KD, you get healthy Bradley Beal, and those guys with Jokic and those guys with Denver, of course, being defending titles. All the goodwill LA had going into the season now, that might hurt because Phoenix has got in my opinion, got better.
Absolutely.
So again, we'll talk more about this next week on the podcast. On when we do our season preview next week, next Thursday, break down all the over-unders because I'm glad. It's funny, a little behind the curtain here for listeners here. I had we had planned on doing it on Thursday, but I told Zack and Chris that if the trade didn't go down by next Thursday, we'll do something else in that spot because I wanted to do the season preview. Once the Dame trade was done, or at least close to being done.
Yeah, because and it was with the expectation for Miami.
Shut up. Yeah, I'm still hurting right now, buddy. I'm still hurting, man. I'm really hurt. So I don't know, man. It sucks, but I will say this much:
put some chips in, man.
Well, I will say this now, and you guys, you already know this on a personal level. My number 2 team is Milwaukee because of Giannis. So if Dame's going somewhere, better him to go there than go to Boston, who I can't stand, or go to Philadelphia, I can't stand, or the Knicks, I can't stand, or the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? So better to go to a team that I would root for if the Heat weren't in the playoffs last year again because of Giannis. So I'm not terribly sad about that, but I'm sad on my end because of the Heat fan. I wanted him here. But I'm actually, and I remember saying, I said on Twitter a couple times in the last couple of weeks, the more this longest thing went out, I was like, you know what? As much as I want Dame here, I tweeted this yesterday, last night for the trade. As much as I want Dame here, I'm actually kind of excited and curious about the young talent around this team. I think he have actually drafted pretty well. I'm really curious how this core with Hero, Bam, and Jimmy for another couple of years, see if they can put something special here. They've done a good job with the development here. So,
yeah.
I mean, again, 2 finals in 4 years, and they went to the third one, 2 years ago. So,
like I said, they always catch breaks in the playoffs.
Yeah, it is what it is. So, anyway, we will return back to the NBA talk on the back end of this podcast, but let's get to what we're here first and foremost is picks of the week. You did win week 3, by the way. This week.
Man, I also owned my pick'em league this week, so it was nice.
Did you? Nice, nice. So we're gonna get to the picks here. Some actually compelling games this week too. Some really compelling games I want to get into. This is the first game is tomorrow night, Thursday night. You have the Detroit Lions hitting the Green Bay face the Packers. The Lions are 2-point favorites. The over under is 46. This is a very compelling game. Very compelling game. Like especially now with Minnesota being right now for the time being out the way, 0-3.
Yeah.
This is the class of the NFC North right now. Looking at.
Look, for my football bets from Vegas, I I would say if Green Bay wins this, it sets them up for the division run. But look, after how they played for 3 quarters in New Orleans, I gotta go with Detroit. They're just too good of a team to not go into Green Bay and beat them by more than 3, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I like Green Bay. You have Detroit, right?
Yeah.
I like Green Bay. I think they're very solid, but I think there's still. Well, first off, are we sure we know we're getting Christian Watson back? Are we getting Aaron Jones back this week? We don't know. So that's a demerit right there for Green Bay.
Exactly, and on a short week, it's even harder.
And I think Detroit. Look, it wasn't the most impressive win in the world against Atlanta. They covered the spread 14 points, of course, but it wasn't the most impressive win in the world. But I felt like they got the group back a little bit this week. I feel like they got out after that Seattle. That's a game against Seattle before that where they actually I think they lost it. They lost that game more than they gave a game to Seattle more than Seattle won it. So I think Detroit. I like Detroit to win this game, but I'm gonna play scared here as always and take the under on this one. I think it's gonna be a low scoring NFC North slobber knocker.
No, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can.
Yeah. So that's that. All right, let's go to London for 9:30. So some mimosas and breakfast. 9:30 game here. Atlanta Falcons heading to Jacksonville in London. Face the Jaguars. The Jags are 3-point favorites. The over under is 43.5. 3 weeks into the season, going to week 4. Safe to say right now for 3 weeks that the Jags are probably the most disappointing team in the league right now, right?
Absolutely. Like, you had that schedule set up nicely. Kansas City, yes,
okay, fine.
Everyone chalk it up for a loss, but the way in which that game went down, it looked really bad for the offense.
And they had a chance to win that game too. Also against KC, they had a chance to put the game away early.
So, Trevor, you need to prove something, buddy.
Yep.
What, he had a 7-game stretch at the end of last season. Otherwise, his early career has been pretty disappointing.
You think the Jags do it? Back on track?
Yes, it's a nice setup game.
Yeah, I'm there with you too. Well, I mean, look, if they don't get done this week, then yeah, it's a problem. So give me Jags as well too. Also win this game. All right, next one here. Probably game of the week. The Miami Dolphins, number 1 in the power rankings this week for me. Heading to Buffalo, face the Bills. The Bills are currently 2.5-point favorites. The over under is 54. Wow, Dolphins are fun. They're so good. If you tell me Tua's healthy, look, the only question, and look, we've been saying this for the last calendar year now. We knew Miami's good when Tua's healthy.
Absolutely.
Can he stay healthy? Is he? Look, if Tua is upright by January, this is a Super Bowl contending team.
Yes, and now all the talk of that draft, that'll start to change.
Mm-hmm.
My first thing is I want to give a shout out to Ryan Russello from The Ringer, but he pointed out the motion offense of the Dolphins after like week 2. So when I watched last week, watching the Dolphins put up 70, I was like, holy shit, this is what he's talking about. There is a guy in motion constantly so that the quarterback can read the defense and see the easy opportunities. And they do this like 50% of all plays. There is a guy in motion. No other team comes close to this. So we saw the greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
I think this is the next iteration.
Yeah, I see that. You taking Miami?
Oh, so yes, I am taking Miami. I If I was a betting person, I'd do a 2-team parlay right here. Miami and the over. I think both teams are going to put up a lot of points, but I'll take Miami to win
I see
out.
that too. Also, the weather I saw too as well. Because like, I mean, one thing if this game is played in like December when it's cold as shit.
Yes.
Like, okay, fine, Buffalo should probably win this game. It's not cold. In fact, it's still warm there. I saw the report for Sunday. It's gonna be mid-70s, clear skies.
Perfect football weather for a player.
You damn right. See, you better put a hat on fucking Tua because if you don't put a hat on Tua, Tyreek's going. And by the way, they scored so many points without Jalen Waddle.
Yes.
That's the thing people forget. So I'm here. Give me Dolphins. I'm buying it. I'm buying it. I'm buying it. All right. Next one from the game of the week to probably the worst game of the week. The Denver Broncos into Chicago face the Bears. Broncos 3-point favorites over under 46. Worst game of the week, yes. I'm compelled and intrigued by this game though.
I'm not. I don't even want to watch it. I think it should be flexed to like Sunday at midnight so no one has to be bothered to watch. The only thing this does is take a little bit of the pressure off of Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. They're gonna finally get a win, and they won't have to answer more questions for 1 week. They get a little pressure.
Taking Denver?
Yes.
Yeah, as bad as Denver's was last week, Chicago's a fucking shit show. And so not just on the field, but off the field now to this point.
How did it fall apart so bad compared to last year? Yeah. And I'm not saying last year was good. I'm just saying they have gone backwards.
Yep, absolutely. And by the way, also too, like for all the shit about Russell Wilson, he's not the look. We said this last week in the podcast. Has he been special this year? Has he been living up to the contract? Has the return on investment been what it should be? No, we all agree to that. But this year, he hasn't been the problem.
No. And this game against the Dolphins, he could have thrown for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Still a loss.
They still would have lost, and not lost. They would have lost by like 30.
Yeah.
Right? Because he doesn't play one down on defense, and that defense is what gave up 70 points.
That defense massively regressed this year, and that's the thing I can't stand. I'm on social media the last 2 weeks. You give up 35 against Washington, you give up 7 against Miami this past week, and somehow the thing that comes to your mind is, oh, blame Russell Wilson. Really?
Yeah, I'd be wondering why that defensive coach didn't resign.
Vance Joseph? Yeah.
Unlike the Chicago coach.
Yeah, exactly. Give me Denver as well too. Their first win. All right, next one here. And probably, if not the second game of the week, in my opinion, that is the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland face the Browns. Both teams 2-1. Browns 3-point favorites over under 40. This is gonna be a fun game. This is gonna be a fucking black and blue. The Bengals got the first win of the year this week. So I feel like if you're gonna have a chance to win this division while the Bengals are still kind of figuring things out, someone has to step up here. It's a must-win game for both these teams to get a stranglehold in the division early before Cincy gets the shit together. Who you liking this one?
I like the Browns defense. Look, Lamar hasn't had a left tackle in 3 years. It doesn't matter what wide receivers you throw out there. When your expected starter never starts and you're always using a backup. Ron Stanley, I don't understand why they have kept him on the team. Mm-hmm. But look, Myles Garrett, he's going to eat up the left tackle. That defensive line, I don't know if Baltimore can stomach it. I feel bad for Lamar. He will be black and blue. So give me the Browns.
Well, I like that. But I'm going to go safe here, take the under in this one.
I can never do unders with 2 running quarterbacks.
I see what you're saying there, but these defenses are pretty good. And look, Baltimore, granted, down 7 starters last week, but they put up 16 against the Colts last week at home. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's pitiful.
Yeah. So that's a game that you look back. If the Colts missed the playoffs by a game this year, by a tiebreaker, or the division by a game or tiebreaker, that Colts game you're looking at like, whoa, whoa. Even with 7 starters down, you gotta find a way to win that game. You have to find a way to win that game. But I'm gonna take the under. I'm gonna take the under this one. What's that?
It was Gardner Minshew, man.
Right, and that's the worst part. It was a backup.
He should be starting in this league. Compared to what we have in a couple of teams, he should be starting.
Hey, the Jets will take him right now.
Yeah.
The Jets will take him right now. That's for damn sure. All right, next one here. Speaking of the Bengals, they go to Tennessee to face the Titans. They are currently 2-point favorites. The over under 40.5. So yesterday on the Stu Game Report with Kyle Nash, we were discussing the Bengals, and they won the game, they had to win against the Rams on Monday Night Football. And the topic came up about, like, are they back on track, and are you still worried about the Bengals? And I said that right now, because obviously Joe Burrow didn't look, even though they won the game on Monday, Joe Burrow didn't look like Joe Burrow. It was kind of inefficient. But the schedule is going to be pretty, for the next 3 weeks prior to the bye, the schedule is going to sort of be doable to get through it. They got Tennessee this week, Seattle on the back end, and I think another easy game in there somewhere. But like I said, if you're Baltimore, Cleveland, you better put some distance between yourselves and Cincinnati now before that bye week, because if Burrow gets 2 weeks to heal that calf, and they win a couple games in these next couple weeks, they just like last year, they go on a run. So this is a huge game. This is actually a low key big game for both these teams here. I'll take Cincy in this game. Tennessee is a weird team, and they'll show up. But I'll take Cincy's defense. I'll take Cincy and the playmakers. I almost want to take the under, but I'm going to take Cincy this game. I think this will be a game where the Burrow will play much better than he did on Monday against the Rams. Who you liking this one?
I love Cincy.
Mm-hmm.
So to get that out the way, Tennessee, I think that we might be seeing Tannehill's last start.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I don't know when their bye week is. I didn't look it up. But after how they played last week, I could easily see this possibly being his last start if Cincinnati beats the hell out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of think Cincinnati is going to beat the hell out of him.
So Tennessee's next bye week is actually the same week as Cincy's. So 3 weeks from now.
Ooh. Well, then now I'm calling his demise a little early. But it's going to be bad for Tennessee coming up real soon.
Okay. All right, next one here. You have the LA Rams and the Indy face the surprising frisky Colts. The Colts are 1-point favorites. The over-under is 46.5. By the way, Anthony Richardson has not cleared protocol yet, so most likely Minshew will start again this week. The Rams have been pretty good still. Yeah. I mean, in that loss. This is a stay away game here, man. Because which Rams team showed up this week? Which Colts team showed up this week? Colts overvalued. Stay away. I'm not betting this game. That's for damn sure. But I will take. Oh God, I'll take a slight under on this one. Slight under. What you got?
I'm gonna go the other way.
Over.
Because like you, I'm staying completely away from this game. This is a game that maybe you watch if you have fantasy players.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's not very intriguing or anything to me. But I think Gardner Minshew could put up points. I think Matthew Stafford could put up points. So I want to go with the over in the game.
All right. I can see that too, man. But I don't know. Maybe it's the game this week that threw me off a little bit, but we'll see. All right. Next one here we have the Tampa Buccaneers heading to New Orleans to face the Saints. The Saints are 3-point favorites. The over under 40.5. Both teams came this week last week unbeaten. Both teams leave this week with one loss. Huge early NFC South matchup here too. I don't know. Is Derek Carr clear to play? Is Derek Carr out for a couple weeks?
I believe he's gonna be out. from what I understood.
That's huge.
Like they weren't putting him on the IR because they thought he could be back inside of 4 weeks, but they don't know when. So that tells me he ain't playing this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. um, I'll take a slight over in this one. I think I see a little bit of scoring. It's 40.5. Come on. Give me a 23-20 game here, you know?
You know, I wanted to initially take Tampa. But then at the last second, I realized, wait, this is Jameis Winston going against Tampa. He's going to want to try and put up points. They're going to try and throw. So I'm with you. I'm going to take the slide over.
Yeah, I like that. All right, next one here. Your boys, the Commanders, heading to Philadelphia, face the Eagles. The Eagles are, in my opinion, only 8-point favorites. Over under for 3.5. Eagles 3-0 and still trying to figure shit out. I think it's the week they do it. And so I say that knowing that last year when they played in the same spot, Washington gave them their first loss of the year after 8 weeks. But I feel like this is the week Philadelphia's going to explode. This is the game that Jalen Hurts explodes on offense, and I think he'll take the. I have Philadelphia cover this game pretty easily. I think Washington had their little run early in the year. We still come back to earth last week as Buffalo. I think it continues this week. I personally hope I'm wrong because I hate the Eagles, obviously, but I just think this is the week Jalen Hurts goes nuts. So give me the Eagles to cover 8 points.
I don't know if Jalen Hurts is going to go nuts, but do you know who leads the league in being sacked the most?
Not Sam Howell, right?
Oh, yes, with 19.
Already?
Sacks in 3
Bro,
games.
that's 6 a week. That's 6.5 a week or 6.25.
Yes, because we just gave up 9. Okay, our offensive line is straight trash. So, Jalen Hurts may not go off, but that defensive line is, and it should be a double-digit spread at least, just to try and attract people to bet on the Commanders.
What's the thing though? What's the? It's 8 points. That's way
Way
too
low. Way too low. This should be an 11-point game, in my opinion.
at least 10, at least 9 or 10. Yes,
I think it has to be over the 10-point of a touchdown and field goal.
right.
That's how big of a win I think Philly's gonna have.
Is this game bettable?
Oh yes,
Is this mortgage for you? Lock of the week? No.
it would be a lock of the week. I don't know if I'd go mortgage bet, but if I had to bet, I would bet that I'll easily bet this game.
So you think Philadelphia also, huh? All
Yeah.
right, that's a good one. All right, next one here we have the winless Minnesota Vikings heading to Carolina face the Panthers. The Vikings are 4-point favorites. The over/under is 45.5. I'll keep it simple here. Vikings are the first win of the year. Give me Minnesota to win this game and the cover. No logic on that one other than they need to win the game. They're 0-3 and don't feel like an 0-3 team. They feel like they don't feel like a bottom 5 team either. So give me Minnesota to win this game and outright and cover 4 points.
The Red Rifle is starting, man.
And he's solid.
I just want to say he was starting.
Yeah. Your twin brother.
Minnesota.
Minnesota, first win of the year. I agree. All right, next one. The Steelers heading to Houston to face the I said the Rockets. That's what's coming back. The Texans. The Steelers are 3-point favorites over under 42 points. Zach, you like this one?
Oh, I love the Steelers. Look, Houston's good. I just still have faith in Pittsburgh. I don't know why. I just do. So give me Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I'm there with you.
Hey, Stroud, he's proving me right when I said he should have been the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I'm with you there too. Also on Pittsburgh. I mean, that's Houston. I can't see Houston replicating what they did last week the second week in a row. Can't see that happening. They're not a good team for a reason. So give me Pittsburgh as well too. All right, we got the Vegas Raiders heading to LA face the Chargers. Chargers are 5.5-point favorites. The over under 48.5. So no Mike Williams for the year. He's out. Josh Daniels sucks.
Mike Williams went down a little earlier than he normally does on a season.
True. Always hurt. But I still like the Chargers to win this game in the cover. So give me the Chargers still.
Yes, absolutely. Josh McDaniels is a freaking idiot and shouldn't be a head coach. All right. I'll take anybody against him.
In fact, I think he'll be the first coach fired this year.
I agree.
I guess the question is gonna be, does he get fired in season, or
Oh,
what?
yes.
Okay, okay, okay. He's terrible. He's terrible. He's a great coordinator, not a coach.
That's it.
Yeah.
He's had 2 tries, and if another organization tries to make him a head coach, I as a player would walk out. I'd be like, dude, we're fucking done.
All right, next one here. The New England Patriots head to Dallas face the Cowboys. Cowboys 7-point favorites over under 43. Um, freaking Cowboys last week. God.
Who knew Trey Diggs was more important on defense than Micah Parsons?
Right? Fucking team, I swear. It has a trappish feel to it a little bit. Pats are a little frisky. They can't score for shit on offense. Although Mac Jones is pretty solid. You know? But
Hey,
Dallas needs this game bad. Because their schedule next month is kind of, not saying it's not doable. It's just that it's tougher than people give credit for. Um, but I'm gonna take the under in this game. I think Belichick is gonna play keep away for Dallas. And I think this will be a defensive game. I'm scared to take Dallas to cover this game. I think Dallas wins this game, but I'm scared to cover some points at this point. So give me the under on this game at 43. What do you got?
oh, I love the under as well.
Mm.
I mean, you're asking the Pats to score points, and they struggle to do that. All right, Dallas has a nice pass rush, even though I just mocked Parsons.
Mm-hmm.
And then we know what Belichick can do with his defense. And Dak, it's like his confidence is getting shattered year after year, and he's getting worse each year.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, we'll see this one. But I got the under as well, too. Yeah, I'm with you. All right, next one here. We have the Arizona Cardinals heading to San Francisco face the Niners. The Niners are the biggest spread of the week at 14 points. Over under 44.5. What disrespect for the Cardinals, man. They've been frisky all year long. They beat the Cowboys when no one thought they'd be in that game, much less win the game. And then they go to San Francisco and now they're 2 touchdown dogs. The fuck?
that's how good the 49ers are. And also how everyone believes that it was a fluke going into Dallas.
Yeah.
But they have played all 3 NFC East teams really, really tough, which kind of is making the NFC East look really, really bad right now.
Yeah. I'm taking San Francisco to cover 14 anyway. Because at some point, this Cinderella story at 1 and 2 has got to end. They can't possibly be this competitive every week. I mean, you're playing, obviously, Washington, Giants, and then the Cowboys, who, like, once in a while likes to get drunk and whatnot and come stumbling to the stadium the next day. This is San Francisco. They're all business. I think San Francisco blows them out here.
Yeah, I love the over.
Really?
14 is just too much for me. If it was 13 and a half, I'd go 49ers. But that even 14 number just hurts me.
That's interesting. Okay.
And you
Okay.
said the over is what, 44, right?
44.5.
Yeah, so yeah, I could easily see 45 points if you're right and San Fran blows them out. And I can see Arizona scoring a couple touchdowns.
Yeah.
So I'll take the over.
All right. Sunday football. in a game which I know I'll be going to sleep immediately at 8 o'clock. That is the Kansas City Chiefs heading to New York, face the Jets. The Chiefs are 9.5-point favorites. The over/under is 42. The Jets called in some help. They got Trevor Siemian.
But I was listening to Rich Eisen, and he was talking about how the last time they brought him in, he played for 6 whole plays before he tore up his knee.
I remember that.
Yeah. So
It's
I don't know
KC,
how.
right? It's KC to cover this, right? I don't know.
Absolutely, I'm taking Kansas City. This is a no doubter.
No chance Jets defense show up and this whole keep Mahomes controlled? No chance?
No.
Okay. Just asking questions. Asking questions. All
Who
right,
you got?
and finally, Monday Football, Seattle Seahawks and New York versus the Giants. It's a pick 'em. I've seen some sites have Seattle Giants -1 though. Over under 47 points. I'm assuming no Saquon again this week. I'm assuming. Although they said he could have, he was close to being clear to play last week. Now and then they get 11 days off. They play on Thursday night last week. They play on Monday night the week after. That might help Saquon's chance to play in this game. Actually,
Yeah.
still, I'm taking the under.
You're taking the under?
Yeah, Giants can't score shit.
All right, good. So I'll take Seattle then. And
Right.
just gave him my case. Giants can't score, and there's no way they can cover those wide receivers.
Yeah, that's a good point. You're right on that one. Seattle's kind of weird, but we'll see. All right, quick FSU minute. That Clemson game was nuts.
How do you win a game that you did not lead for a single fucking second? That is remarkable. But hey, 4-0, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though. I don't know how you feel about this, honestly. The number 5 in the AP polls right now currently. I won't lie to you. My personal feeling, maybe because I'm invested. We're both invested as fans. They don't feel like a top 7 team in the country.
Well, I mean, other than the first week of the season, yeah. No, they don't.
And to be honest with you, with LSU's kind of been kind of meh since all year. So I think LSU's was kind of overvalued coming to the year, and then we see LSU be who they are. Like maybe LSU was the second best team in the SEC. No, it's Alabama. It's just Georgia's much better than everybody else. Alabama's not great, but LSU, Alabama, Tennessee, all those teams are in that same mix, second tier. So Florida State to me, and the good thing about Florida State, they have games on the schedule where they can prove themselves to be formidable. Duke is better this year. They got Duke on the schedule this year.
Yeah.
Obviously Miami's better right now so far this year. You got them on the schedule. Florida's better this year. So there are games on the schedule for Florida State to prove to people that we are a playoff team. And obviously to take their business, their path is there, obviously. Because Michigan, Ohio State, they'll not work itself out, obviously. Georgia will probably get in, of course, because of who they are. And I still have questions about Texas. Like in the end, will Texas maintain this to November? I don't know.
Yeah.
So there's still path.
I noticed you forgot all about all the teams from the Pac-12. Oregon, USC.
Oregon will fuck up. Oregon will fuck up. You know that. Oregon's gonna fuck up some point. You know that. Come on. Oregon's always hangs around the top 7, 6, and then by November 15th, they're done.
Then there's Washington.
They're scary. That team is scary. That's the team I think that's scaring everybody else.
I'm just saying there are a lot of teams out there.
Yeah. Nice little send-off for the Pac-12 this year. Nice little send-off. Like a bunch of really solid teams. Washington, USC, Oregon.
Not just them. Look at the Big 12. They're watching Texas finally play great football again.
Yeah.
It's got to be sayonara.
Yep. Crazy. All right. Back to basketball, as we promised earlier. We're going to do our, earnestly speaking, 2024 Olympic fantasy draft with all the FIBA World Cup that's finished about 2 weeks ago. Meant to do this last week, actually, but we weren't ready for that. So we're going to just draft 12 spots. It'll be very, very simple. You and I are going to draft the same team, 12 spots. We have, obviously, 2 guards, center, forward on the starting lineup, and then reserves rest of the way. Do you want to have the first pick, Zach? Want me to do it?
Oh, I'll let you have the first pick.
You know why, right?
Yeah, I mean, so let's get this out the way.
LeBron.
For our 12 picks, we are assuming everyone wants to be there.
Yes.
Everybody is healthy.
Every American player wants to be there. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. We're assuming that. This is the assumption that's the case. So some guys you may think may not play, we're going to pick them anyway because the assumption they're going to be healthy. I'll get out of the way because I know you won't do it. I'll put LeBron James my first pick because he will be the guy recruiting guys who may not want to play this, and then so LeBron being the wily veteran, 40 years old, this will be his 4th Olympic team, I think is right, 4th team.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll get out of the way. LeBron at forward for me to start it off.
So I have a guy. He's going to be our starting point guard.
I know who it is.
I considered him to be the legacy pick
Yes.
of this generation
Mm-hmm.
because I was assuming before I made this list that LeBron was going to be out. He said he was done. He's 40, you know. And I felt we needed to have a legacy guy to begin with. So Curry at point guard.
Hell yeah. I love it. All right, my third pick. The third pick, should I say? Let me see here. Do we go small ball here? Or do we do?
Well, here, if you want to go small ball, what position are you putting LeBron at?
Give me a forward. Give me a forward.
You want to put forward?
I'll go. Fuck it. I'm going to go KD still. Fuck it. Let's go KD.
Okay. Is he's your small forward then?
He's a forward. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So with you taking him as a forward, and you got LeBron as forward, I guess I'm handling all the guard duty. So
yeah,
give me Booker right now.
Devin Booker, is he starting? And he's starting too, right?
Yeah, he's my starting shooting guard.
All right. We do need a center.
We do. There are only really 3 options at center.
I'll do it anyway. Let's get Joel Embiid in there because he's a citizen now officially, so that's cleared.
No, he's got the Bahama thing. He's been
no
before. No. He cannot. I throw a flag on this one right away.
He has citizenship for USA now officially. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand, but no.
We're the same team. What do you care? We're the same team.
Played for other teams. You relinquish your card to play on the U.S. Olympic team.
Okay, fine. We'll go that. All right. You're right. I hate you, Zachary. You know what? Fuck, I'm going Homer. Give me Bam. Bam will play center for us.
Ooh. All right. Let me get into a probably borderline top 5 guy in the league right now. We're gonna have to put Tatum in.
Yep.
He's gonna have to be one of the small forwards.
Yeah. All right, we got 6 picks to go.
I know who you want to put in.
Who you want to put in?
I'm not gonna say it.
Give me Jimmy Butler. Fuck it.
Oh, I was gonna put him there. He's literally my next guard. He was.
Is he really?
I had Tatum. I had Tatum as my one small forward. Mm-hmm. He was my backup because I didn't have LeBron on the team at all. So
good shit.
No.
You got next.
All right. So we really need another center. All right. Yeah. We're going to have one more center at least. And so that I can pigeonhole another guy somewhere else. Shout out to Chris. Evan Mobley.
Whoa. I like that.
You're talking rim protection, rebounding, and he can actually score from all 3 levels. He's not a great shooter yet, but he can do it.
I like that.
Look, we got killed on the boards in the FIFA, so we need some rebounders.
All right, we need some guards here.
All right, I set it up. There's no way you can skip them now.
Well, give me Dame. He's got new lease in life now. Give me Dame.
This is who I thought you were going with last pick.
Yeah. Give me Dame. Why not? 3 picks to go.
3 picks to go. Oh, man. I've got 2 so bad. Do I give us one more shooting guard or one more point guard?
You know what? Let's increase this 15 spots, all right?
You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go size again. Give me Davis. Anthony
Yeah,
Davis.
on my radar too, especially as well. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. All right, Anthony Davis here. All right, we need a guard here. This guy balled out in these recent FIBA World Cup. Give me Anthony Edwards.
Ooh, yes. Like it.
All right, we'll go to 15 slots now. So let's go fill it out to 15.
All right. Well, then I'm taking the next point guard
We
leader
get
on us.
four. We get four more now.
Halliburton.
Ooh,
Halliburton.
Halliburton. I like that.
Look, we have our legends. Is now time to put on the up and comers and the
Mhm.
guys who do it right now.
We do need one more, at least one more shooter, though. I will say the only shooter we have is Book. Well, yeah, Book and Curry, but
Curry and Lillard and Booker. All
yeah. What's another one more shooter on hurt, right?
yeah. Go ahead. Who you taking?
Do I go with the veteran or I go with the do I go with the young pup? I don't know. Man. Going through this list here and like
I almost feel like you're about to put a guy on there I wouldn't even trust or even looked at.
ooh, Jalen Brown?
Oh, okay.
No, that's an option, but
No, he was my backup to Booker, so
mm,
he's one of my
I was gonna
options.
go Clay actually. But
Oh,
I know his knee. I don't know, man. Does he want to put more extra time in basketball given his situation? No, I'll go Jalen Brown. Let's go Jalen Brown.
Jalen Brown. All right.
The newly minted $300 million man.
And because this is our fantasy Olympic team,
Mm-hmm.
we have to have some highlights, okay?
Okay.
I need some massive dunks.
Uh-oh.
And there's only one guy I want to put there who I wish would be healthy. And now you know who it is. Zion.
Ooh.
Not Ja, who I know you thought when I said that at first, but Zion. If I could have a guy be healthy I would want Zion.
All right, last pick, right? Last one.
Last.
All right. Let's go through this list one more time. Uh, let's see here.
There's a lot of good guys out there.
Yeah, I know. I love I love the fact you put some guys that don't get a lot of pub, you know, some love here. I like that.
Got your scores and you need your dirty work guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know I'm not getting John Morant in here because John Morant is a mess. Also, Luka can't play. He's not American.
Yeah.
Uh,
I can't believe you're not going off injured or maybe a Cav or another Sun.
I mean, I want to take Kawhi, but
Yeah, why not?
it's the injury.
We're pretending they're healthy.
It's not even health now. It's about do I trust these guys?
Oh.
Oh my god, you got Kyrie Irving here.
Oh, he is not on my team.
I know. Could we use no center? No, we have what? Bam, Mobley.
And Mobley.
Technically, the only true center in here is Mobley.
Yeah.
AD hates playing center. Bam is
Yeah, but he can slide for a few minutes because that's all you're asking. Same with Bam. You know, so hey, you want to go another center? Another Cav.
I'm not a huge fan of this guy personally. Not personally. I'm a huge fan of this guy's game necessarily. But you know, just for the sake of having another big guy there, give me Cat.
Oh, what?
Give me Cat.
He's a weak rebounder with no blocking, inside presence, and he doesn't want to play down low at all.
That's right. Hey, scratch that. Fuck that. You're right.
Mean,
He's not
if you
center
want
anymore.
a center, you need Jared Allen. That's you're looking at Jared Allen and
another Cav.
Yeah, that's why you can kind of stay away because LeBron can play when you go small ball center. Anthony Davis, if you tell him you're going small ball, will play center.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got enough. I think we got enough size now. enough rebounding.
We got how many guards here? We got 1, 2.
We got 3 point guards, and we got what? Three shooting.
Halliburton's a shooting guard.
Halliburton led the league. He's a point guard.
It's point guard, right? Point guard. Shit. Oh, fuck it. Let's go Donovan Mitchell. Fuck it. Donovan Mitchell.
Hey, I agree. He was a toss-up for my 3rd seed. All right.
That's a lot harder than people credit for. Because you got to go sift through the guys that are not American. Now, if Embiid decides he wants to play for America, Embiid will probably jump the list here. If I could be a starter.
Now, you wouldn't do it, but I got no fear at all. I need Kawhi. I need 5 minutes of his knees on the court. All right.
This is the last pick, right?
That's the last pick. And it might motivate him, seeing as he's the last pick.
I want Kawhi, man, but
look, otherwise I was going Julius Randle. And I really didn't like his performance.
In the playoffs, yeah. I actually, another guy I considered also at one point was Jalen Brunson. Just because of leadership and all that.
But we got so much leadership at the Yahoo with this. We don't need him.
Between Steph and LeBron, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Anyway, that was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And next week, you're doing double duty next week because Wednesday we do the usual we do here.
Yeah.
And then next day we're doing our season preview.
All right.
Busy motherfucker. Look at this guy, man. This time of year is where you shine on this podcast, brother.
Yeah. This is more talking than I do all the rest of the year.
Oh, really? Again, follow Zach on Twitter, on X at FSU Know It All. Of course, I'm on Twitter or X at EJChristen7. Good luck with your pick, Zach. See you next week, buddy.
All right, man. Just call it Twitter.